Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. My father has severe depression and takes the medication for depression. What advice do you have so he may get some healing? Wallahi, this is what needs to be reminded here of is first of all to understand and to realize and to believe that everything is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we are slaves of Allah. And this life, we need to face everything that we have in this life with patience, with being obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with being patient. So realizing that everything is from Allah, that makes it easy, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most wise, and nothing is decreed except by the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when it comes to depression, and this word can be easily manipulated, if a person is diagnosed with it, that means they have basically chemical disturbances in one's body. That means there's a physical thing there. They take medicine. That means there's no fault on the person. So a person should not feel bad, because this is what, a person is sick and people face all kinds of difficulties. But if it's something that is a feeling, and it's not really into something that is physical, we need to push that away by having the proper belief in things. The proper belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His names and attributes, and getting to understand the reality of this life. That after 100 years of now, everybody will die and everybody will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's nothing really to feel so much extremely grieve about in this life, because we would leave it behind. And what matters is what we take with us to the Day of Judgment. And the way to achieve this belief and to be present in our lives at all times is to connect ourselves to the Quran. So the sincere advice really is to make the Quran is the most important part of our life, after fulfilling the obligations and the salah and so on. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help and make dua. But read Quran on a daily basis and see what the message of the Quran, what's the reality of this life, what everything is beautiful for the believers. As the Prophet ﷺ said, عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ أَمْرُهُ كُلُّهُ لَهُ خَيْرٌ. Amazing is the affairs of the believers. Everything is for the believers is good. إِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ سَرَّاءَ شَكَرَ فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ ضَرَّاءَ صَبَرَ فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ. If something easy happens to him and he's grateful, it's good for him. If it's something bad that happens to him and he's patient, it's good for him. So be patient and seek rewards from Allah. As we heard, فَاصْبِرْ صَبْرًا جَمِيلًا. Have a beautiful patience with the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more merciful to us than our own selves. And with the dua, the power of the dua, Allah is the one that is able to change that situation. Plus take the physical means that is halal for the person to relieve himself from such depression. And of course the adhkar and the dua in the morning and the evening adhkar, and the beautiful dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma inni abduk wa ibnu abdik wa ibnu amatik nasiyati biyadik. This dua is definitely to be memorized, is to be said all the times. And the Prophet ﷺ said a person should memorize it. And that takes away the ham and the hazan, sadness and the grief. And this is in the book of Sahih Hisn Muslim, or any book of authentic adhkar. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all of those who are sick, inshallah.